Hello and welcome to Market House, the podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name's Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And this week we talk about Disney suing Ron DeSantis.
Fantasyland rides going down for refurbishment.
And our perfect day at Animal Kingdom. Let's dive in. All right, and we are on episode number 81. And as always, cannot wait to get started and talk Disney.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. It's getting warm over here, and I feel like we're a broken record saying that, but we've turned it into a positive thing. We decided to go get ice cream the other night. We intended to get Cold Stone, which if you have a Cold Stone near you, please go and get it. It's delicious.
It's delicious.
I love it, but the line was moving like so slow. We were in line for like 20, 25 minutes, and we couldn't get our ice cream. And I was like, you know what? Let's get out of here. Let's go to the grocery store, buy our own ice cream, and make something at home.
It was the greatest idea.
Yeah.
Because
for the same price, you can get like 2 or 3 nights worth of ice cream versus one.
Oh, for sure. Because first of all, Cold Stone is extremely expensive. So anyway, we just had a fun idea, and just backstory, Caleb makes the best Oreo McFlurries, like dupes, I guess you could call them.
Yeah, gluten-free edition.
They're so good. So he has this little system where we do vanilla ice cream. He puts a little bit of milk. And then my job, I take very seriously. I smash up all the Oreos. And again, it's a big deal. They can't be too small. They can't be too big. And then together, it's so delicious. So I highly recommend making some Oreo McFlurries at home.
Yes. 5 stars on the homemade
Okay.
Oreo McFlurries. They are fun to make and even more fun to eat. So
I agree.
Hey, before we dive into the Disney news, please consider leaving a review or a rating on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Giant help to the show. So a rating is a little, just a star rating. So both Apple and Spotify have those. You click 5 stars. That helps the show a ton. And then just on Apple, if you've got a few minutes, you can leave a written review, and that helps the show even more. So
yes.
We'd appreciate both. And you can also support the show by using our Getaway Today link to book your Disney vacations. You can save an additional $10 on a vacation package if you use code MarketHouse10. Let's dive into that news. All right, and our first news story takes place over on the East Coast. Well, actually, I guess it takes over in the Americas, because Disney, the entire Walt Disney Company, is suing Ron DeSantis and other Florida officials over the craziness that's going on. So again, some more political drama. We don't want to dive too far into it. A few episodes back, we did do a little news story on kind of what's going on and to update you guys on why there's a ton of drama happening in the state of Florida. But Disney in this lawsuit is accusing DeSantis with orchestrating and, quote, a campaign of government retaliation, unquote, against the company and violating its protected speech. So this is after DeSantis escalated this disagreement with Disney by striking down decisions passed by the Reedy Creek District before the state took it over. So again, it's an entirely messy situation. I won't dive into it too much, but all you need to know is that the Walt Disney Company is suing Governor Ron DeSantis and some other state officials for basically, retaliating against Disney for private business practices, which has not really been done in my lifetime that I remember. So this is a unique fight that Disney is going to be fighting with the state of Florida, and I guess we'll see what happens.
All right, next up we have some park updates over at Disneyland that we thought we'd go over. It looks like in June we have Peter Pan's Flight, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and Alice in Wonderland, as well as Ariel's Undersea Adventure, all going down for refurbishment starting June 5th. Currently, there's no reopening date for these rides, but again, we don't believe that they're going to be closed for a long time. I'm assuming it's just going to be the general refurb, making sure everything's up to date, making sure everything's working correctly.
Yeah, and I'm surprised though it's going down in June, like the start of summer.
Yeah, which again, we're going in May, so I'm actually very thankful that this is happening in June, because that's quite a chunk of like really good rides that like we go on.
I'm bummed. If you're going though, I'm bummed for you guys, because that's pretty lame. Those are some good attractions.
Yeah, and I feel like just Fantasyland as a whole is going to be not that crowded.
So I didn't know this, that Peter Pan's Flight, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, that doesn't make sense. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Someone said online that they share the same show building. Is that possible?
Why wouldn't it? They're all in the same area.
Is Peter Pan across the way, though?
Peter Pan's next to Mr. Toad's, and then Mr. Toad's backs up to Alice.
Oh, you're
so,
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so I guess it's all one show building,
Oh,
so that's
wow.
why they're shutting them all down.
Okay, wow. I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
Oh.
But yeah, unfortunately, if you are there on June 5th, they will be down for refurbishment.
And for the foreseeable future. Now, again, probably like a month, but that's what's going on.
Yeah, and then lastly, for park updates, we have a new Grogu sipper that is going to be available for the May the 4th celebrations that are coming very soon to the Disneyland Resort. This is going to be available at the Galactic Grill starting on May 2nd, and some of the food carts, again, located around Tomorrowland, they're probably going to go quickly at the beginning, and then they'll be everywhere. So, again, if you're going on May the 4th, they'll probably be sold out by like 11 a.m., I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and then they'll be back. So,
Yeah, fun note is that Galactic Grill does have mobile order, so you might have a chance of mobile ordering the Grogu Sipper.
yeah, I think you can do that.
Okay, so that increases your chances of getting one, but if you're really wanting one, then make sure you get there early, and they are limited to 2 per person, which is good because that prevents scalpers from being mean and taking them from guests.
That's true.
All right. You know what that music means. It is time for Disney Trivia. All right. Caitlin, you won last time. I lost. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
But you're going down this week.
Oh,
I've got some pretty good questions,
okay.
so let's get into it.
Let's do it. All right, Caleb, are you ready for your first trivia question?
I think so. Hit me with it.
All right. What is the address Dory has to memorize in Finding Nemo?
P42 Wallaby Way, Sydney? Something like that? Wait,
What?
P... Really?
So I'm asking for the address that she's...
Wait,
What did you say?
the address. Something like P42 Wallaby Way. No?
I
Okay.
mean, you're somewhat there, but not really.
Okay.
P42.
I don't know. 342?
No.
642. B42.
Come on, you're
Um,
so close. Think of her saying it.
It's like something Wallaby Way, Sydney. I know Wallaby Way, Sydney is the thing, but is it 342? It's not numbers?
There are numbers, yes, but you're adding like weird things to it.
I don't know.
You give up?
Yeah, I give up.
It's 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Oh, it's just 42?
You're thinking of P. Sherman.
Oh, P. Sherman.
Like you're like P42 Wallaby Way.
Okay, what's the P. Sherman, though?
That's the dentist.
Oh.
That's his name. So it's remember on the so she's reading it on like his goggles.
That's what it was. I'm like, no, there's like another name in there somewhere.
Okay. Are you ready for your last question?
Sure.
Okay. Who composed the music for Toy Story?
Oh, Randy Newman.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That was a good one. You know all that. I should have known.
Sorry.
Great job.
Kind of. I missed a pretty easy one.
I know, but it was funny. So
I haven't watched it in a long time. Okay. Caitlin, your turn. Here we go. Some scenes of woodland creatures in the forest fire in Bambi are actually unused footage from what other Disney movie? And this is multiple choice. Pinocchio, Fantasia, Peter and the Wolf, or Snow White?
I'm gonna say Snow White.
Incorrect. Pinocchio. So-
Pinocchio in the forest?
So apparently there's some unused footage from the Pinocchio movie that they used in
Really?
Bambi. Yeah.
How weird.
The more you know.
What's the wolf one? I've never even heard of
Peter
that.
and the Wolf, I've got no idea.
Yeah. It's probably P42.
Okay. Very funny. All right, next question. In The Lion King, what is Simba's mother's name? Serafina? Serafina. And I'm sure I'm butchering this. I'm sure it's a very cool name that I'm pronouncing incorrectly.
Okay.
Or Serafina, maybe? Sarabi?
Sarabi.
Okay.
It's Sarabi for sure.
It is Sarabi.
I remember Scar yelling it
Yeah.
towards the end.
It is Sarabi.
Like, Sarabi.
That's Jeremy Irons you're speaking of?
We need to watch that. We haven't seen that in so
I
long.
love that movie.
All right. It's a date.
Okay, it's a date.
We're doing that with our McFlurries.
with our McFlurries. Okay, so we tied
Mm-hmm.
1-1.
That still blows my mind about the Pinocchio.
Yeah. It's just a good use of extra film.
I mean, hey, it's smart because I would have never known, obviously.
yeah,
But wow, good.
fun facts.
Thanks for joining us.
right, and that brings us to our main segment of this week's episode, and that is our perfect day at Animal Kingdom.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Very excited. So we are back to our perfect day series, which are always a lot of fun. But here's the idea for those that may be new to the show. So Caitlin and I both create a perfect day for a certain Disney park, and this week it happens to be Animal Kingdom because we're celebrating the 25th anniversary.
Yes, which is awesome.
Awesome. So we share kind of when we're waking up, which means code word what hotel we're staying at. And then we kind of go throughout the day. Where are we eating for breakfast? What are we getting for lunch and dinner? Dessert? If we want a treat or something, what must-ride attractions do we have to hit? And then what shows do we want to attend? And the fun thing about this whole thing is it's a made-up day in our head, so there's no budget and there's no time constraints. So it's definitely like a dream situation where if everything aligned, I hit the lottery, right? We're sitting on millions of dollars. So no budget, and we suddenly have like 76 hours in one day, then you can get everything done that we kind of pitch here. So it's just a fun, dream session.
Yeah, these are some of my favorite because again, we miss the parks a lot, so this is just a fun way to recreate the magic.
I know, it feels like we're planning a trip, but we're really not.
Yeah.
Like, we do a little research before of like, okay, like where are we staying and why, and where are we eating at and why, and so it's fun because it feels like we're gearing up for a trip, but we're really not.
Yeah.
It's just a trip in our heads.
Yes.
Like two crazy people. Okay. I will go first.
Okay. I'm
Are
so
you ready
excited to hear
for
yours.
my perfect day at Animal Kingdom? All right,
Yes.
let's start off by saying, where are we waking up at? So most people are probably thinking that I'm picking Animal Kingdom Lodge because we've stayed there before. We absolutely loved it. We had a Savannah view and it was gorgeous, and we woke up to giraffes and it was magical, and everything it could be.
It's
Stunning.
literally it's stunning there.
It is, but I did not pick that. I'm throwing you a curveball.
Okay.
I'm going with Coronado Springs.
Oh, our favorite.
Our favorite. So specifically a suite in the Grand Destino Tower. So
Okay.
1-bedroom suite. It's fairly close to Animal Kingdom, and we love the rooms there. We have experience, so it's a safe bet. We know we like the Grand Destino Tower, so we're staying there. And the only reason I didn't pick Animal Kingdom Lodge is because I assumed that you were doing it as well, and that would be boring.
Why? I can't tell you that.
Okay, all right.
We'll find out.
I did, out of curiosity, look how much a 1-bedroom suite would be for a random weekend in September. It was $1,200 a night.
Wow.
So a dream situation. This is if, again, like I hit the lottery. We're not staying there in normal times. But yeah, we're doing that. We're going all out.
Okay.
So we're waking up. We're headed to the parks via bus because that's the only way you can get to Animal Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken, is by Disney Bus, which is not a bad thing. We're doing the character breakfast at Tusker House.
Oh my gosh.
It looks amazing. They're all wearing safari-style outfits, all the
No
characters.
way.
It's
Okay,
really
I had
cool.
no idea that they did that.
I did some research.
Okay.
It's pricey. It's character breakfast.
Okay.
But I know I'm ordering a giant plate of gluten-free Mickey waffles because all the character breakfasts have an amazing spread of gluten-free
Yes, they do.
for me, which is awesome. For coffee, we're being real basic and going over to Creature Comforts, which is their Starbucks. And Caitlin, I can't go without my iced brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso.
Yum.
It's a staple in this house. Yeah, is it $5 and you get like maybe 4 drinks out of it and it's gone? Yep, but it's
It's the little things in life.
so good. It is so good. Okay, so I'm going to go over kind of my must-hit attractions really quick. No particular order, just what I really want to ride and just all throughout the day. Okay, first up is Flight of Passage.
Of course. Well, obviously,
Yeah.
I'm like, that has to be your first.
Like 3 times. It is so good. That ride makes me like, it almost like makes like the hair on the back of my neck stand up at that end scene where the whale thing is like coming and crashing down in the water. It's
so unique.
so pretty. So I love that ride. We're riding Navi River Journey. There's a lot of haters of this ride. They say it's too short, it's boring. I love this ride.
You know what I have to say about this ride? It confuses me because normally, I don't know why, I feel like you enter Disney rides on the right-hand side. This one confuses me because you get in on the left and then you go to the left.
You're right.
Isn't that weird?
You're right.
I don't know why. Every time we ride that,
No.
I'm like,
Pirates. You enter from the left and go to the left.
no, you get in on the right.
No.
Caleb. Yes.
Wait. Okay, you're saying like directionally though, it's the left side of the boat, but you're saying you enter like you take a right into the boat. Whereas
No,
Navi
you
River
go,
Journey
No. The Navi River Journey, you're in line. The boating, like where you
is
get
on your left.
is on your left.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
So I'm like, that's so weird to
But that's
me.
the right side of the boat. You're loading right side
Yeah,
of the boat.
yeah, but like
Okay.
it's just so bizarre. It's just something in my head. Every time we write it, I'm like, this is bizarre. I feel like I need to be getting on like on the
I know. I was like,
right-hand
what are you
side.
talking about? It's on the left. Okay.
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro Safaris, which, fun fact, we've never done this.
No, we haven't, and I'm very surprised you put this on your list.
I want to do it.
Oh, I thought you didn't want to.
Why? No, I want to do this
Oh,
because
okay.
we've been watching that show and it looks amazing.
Oh,
And we can
yes,
see
yes,
all the, the only reason I didn't want to do it before is because, again, I don't do well in the heat. And I've heard that these are very slow moving vehicles. And like, you'll just sit there in the humid sun of waiting for Papo to walk across the, what are they? They name the animals such weird names, but waiting for Papo the elephant to walk across and you'll just sit there for 15 minutes. So
I would love to see Papo. I hope he makes an
I
appearance.
don't know if that's a real thing.
Okay.
Okay, then next up, we want to do Expedition Everest.
Okay.
Now, this ride did make us a little motion sick last time, but this time I think we prepare by taking some Dramamine, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Finally, we're riding Cali River Rapids because we've never done this either before.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 attractions that are like really big that we've never done, and we really want to hit them up. I'll speak for myself. I really want to hit them up.
Yeah, it's so crazy because Cali River Rapids is so different than Grizzly River Run. So it's kind of like every time I see it, I'm kind of like, nothing can replace Grizzly River Run.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it almost makes me not want to go on Cali River Rapids because I'm just like, it's so different.
That's true.
But
Way
yeah.
less theming. And
Yeah.
it's about like deforestation, which is fine.
Well,
It's
yeah.
a good message,
Oh,
but
yeah.
a little less exciting than a giant grizzly mountain that's roaring at you while you go through.
Exactly.
Okay, for lunch, we're headed back to Pandora, and we're going to eat at Satuli Canteen,
Okay.
which is their not sit down, it's like their quick service.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I would compare it to Docking Bay 7,
Okay.
right?
And Galaxy's Edge.
Same style, like it's kind of elevated counter service food, but it's not sit down.
Okay.
So let me read you off some of the gluten-free options they have for me. They have a combination bowl, grilled beef and chicken. It's marinated in a blend of garlic, herbs, red pepper spice, and red wine vinegar.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
Right? Paired with wood-grilled chicken thighs marinated in garlic and olive oil, topped with crunchy vegetable slaw. Boba balls served with your choice of base and sauce.
That sounds amazing.
Right? They have a sliced grilled beef bowl. They've got chili spice crispy fried tofu bowl. Chopped wood grilled chicken bowl.
Okay.
Some good stuff for gluten-free
Good
people.
options over there.
Right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that looks good. For dinner, I'm going to skip the shows for now. I'm going to go to the shows a little later. For dinner, I really want to go to Yak and Yeti. Heard
Okay.
nothing but amazing things.
So I thought you couldn't eat there.
I think they can.
Okay.
Now, this is the thing when I say, like, I can eat places, but sometimes you're a little bored because it's like, oh, I can have a piece of, like, chicken breast, right? Like grilled chicken. Or you
With
can
no
have...
sauce-
With
or
no
no-
sauce,
yeah.
yeah. I believe they have, like, a steak plate that I can have.
Okay.
But...
But it's not like the traditional food that like the Yak and Yeti is known for.
Yeah, they have a lot of Asian style food and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've got gluten free. Now, again, you have to remember that Yak and Yeti is a third party restaurant. So
Yes.
it's not a Disney restaurant. It happens to be located in Disney, but it's operated by someone else.
Yes, because I actually, fun fact, I went to add this to our list, but I checked the menus, and due to them being a third party, they don't have any allergy.
No, I heard it's
Sections on
a
their menu.
paper. They have a paper menu that's
Yeah, yeah,
gluten free. But I think it's like just basic meat plates.
Right. But
So-
everyone seems to love that place.
The
so,
theming looks amazing. And for the show section, the shows I want to hit up, there's a lot. And this is why I'm like, this is definitely dream mode because there's no way we can hit all this up in one day. But I want to go to It's Tough to Be a Bug. I want to go to Festival of the Lion King. And I want to hit up Finding Nemo, The Big Blue, and Beyond.
And Kite Tails?
No, that's not even around anymore. And if it was, I would not waste my time watching Kite Tails. And then finally, to end the night, we are going to have our last and final meal, and this is dessert. We're going, it's a no-brainer. We're ordering like 10 orders of gluten-free churros at the Nomad Lounge.
Okay. Oh my gosh, my mouth's like watering.
We've had the gluten-free churros at Three Bridges, at the Coronado Springs,
Yeah.
and amazing.
They're
So
so good.
good.
And it's the only place on Disney property on the East Coast and West Coast that you can get gluten-free churros.
Yeah, so Three
So-
Bridges and Animal
then
Kingdom.
Nomad Lounge.
That's it.
It's awesome. They're so good. And again, from someone who doesn't have an allergy, they taste exactly the same as like a normal churro.
They're very good.
So I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing.
It is amazing. But that is my day.
I
It's
loved
just
your
it's a ton of
day.
eating. It's a ton of riding rides. Honestly, Animal Kingdoms is so cool. Walking around. I'm sure there's breaks in my day of just walking and seeing those cool animals. There's
Yeah.
exhibits everywhere that aren't a part of Kilimanjaro safaris, of just random cool things. Anteaters right in the front.
Oh
And
my gosh, there's so many different things.
and again, watch that show on Disney Plus. Do yourself a favor. It feels like you're at the park. You're watching these caretakers and vets take care of these amazing animals.
And just doing full-on surgeries like
Yeah.
in front of guests.
It's so cool.
It's crazy.
The things they do for conservation and stuff, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, well, I'm really excited to tell you about my perfect day at Animal Kingdom.
let's hear it. Can you top mine?
Probably not.
You
Yours
probably
is pretty
could.
good.
Mine was pretty all over the place.
No,
but
not really.
okay.
Okay, so we are going to start this perfect day at Animal Kingdom Lodge because
Oh,
you cannot have a perfect day at Animal Kingdom without staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
I agree. That's a good pick.
This hotel is very special to me because it reminds me of one of the trips we took there that was associated with our cruise. And we had one of the best experiences at Animal Kingdom Lodge. The hotel is extremely clean. The cast members were just amazing. The dining experiences we had were amazing. The room and just overall service was just so awesome. So I'm gonna totally expose myself right now. You know how you said it was a savannah room?
Yeah.
With the view of the animals, for those who don't know. I put a safari view.
Oh, that's okay. It's close enough.
But I would love to have, it doesn't even need to be a suite, but just the room we had last time, it was literally the most perfect location. So for those who haven't stayed at Animal Kingdom, there's different views that you can get. So there's like the main savannah area that has like all like the larger animals.
They have names. I don't remember the Savannah names.
Yes.
There's 3 different ones.
So that you can either stay at Jumbo House, which is the main one. There's Kidani Village, which is DVC. And like there's other locations that have like certain animals. But at Jumbo House, the Savannah viewing for all those rooms it's absolutely exquisite.
Yeah, yes, your chances of getting the main Savannah at Jumbo House is higher, but there still is a little like second one that is off to the corner.
Right.
So I don't want to like promise people like you will get the big Savannah view at Jumbo House.
No, you won't. But if you can, it's amazing. The animals out there, there's so many animals. So I would love to have a view of that so we can just see the giraffes and just see the animals because there's just something about waking up in the morning, opening up the curtains, and there's a giraffe right there.
I know.
Or it
was pretty crazy.
An ostrich or like whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
it was so unique seeing that.
Yep.
I loved it. So that's where we're going to wake up. And then for breakfast, we're actually going to go downstairs to Sanaa,
Okay.
which we have been there before and we loved it. They have various offerings. Again, all the normal stuff like oatmeal, breakfast sandwiches. They have Mickey waffles, fruit. So we're just going to get the classic, like Caleb mentioned, big plate of Mickey waffles, some eggs, some fruit.
Yeah.
And
A little oatmeal.
yeah, and it reminds me of us when we went there prior to getting on the cruise because that's what we had
Yes.
last morning.
And I mentioned oatmeal because that's the only thing you could have.
Yes,
Because
'cause my
Caitlin was
gallbladder.
dealing with, a bad gallbladder. And they couldn't do surgery before the trip, of course. So we found out like a night or 2 before we flew out
Mm-hmm.
that she had gallstones. And they said, you know what? And Caitlin's like, well, I leave for Disney World in like 2 days.
They're like, oh.
Yeah, so they're like, just keep your diet under control. So you had to stay away from like fatty foods.
Everything acidic.
Yeah, not a
nothing
lot
sugary.
of sugar. It was
Yeah.
pretty boring. I felt so bad.
It was doable.
It was
fine.
doable, but bland diet. So poor Caitlin, I was sitting there with, and I was trying to be nice. I was like, I'll get oatmeal with you. And she's like, you better order gluten-free waffles. And so I
Yeah.
had, poor thing, I had waffles right in front of her and she was eating.
I loved my oatmeal.
Okay.
It was so good. And again, the number one reason I mentioned this restaurant is, again, it has a view of the animals.
Oh, we were watching giraffes walk right next to the window while we were eating
Yeah,
our food.
because you're at ground level, so it's like literally it's just glass in between you guys.
It's so cool.
It's so fun. So we're gonna have that for breakfast, and then we are going to head over to Animal Kingdom to get some coffee at the Starbucks, which of course is the start to every park adventure.
Okay.
We have to stop and get some coffee because we need it. And again, just to let everyone know, there's a couple similarities to our list, but I have a couple tweaks. So a couple of the rides that we're going to do first up is Flight of Passage. Again, to me, there's something about riding this ride specifically early in the morning and then super late at night. I love it at night, but there's something about when the weather is nice and not 112 degrees. it's just refreshing being in Pandora in the morning, like hearing all the waterfalls and just the smells. Like it's just fun in the morning.
It is cool. And if you're lucky, the line will stop right next to that bridge that goes over the river.
Right.
And you'll be lucky enough to see like one of the Disney characters hanging out with guys playing drums. And it just
Right.
like starts your day off. You're like, yeah, man.
It's just fun.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we are gonna go over and do Navi River Journey. I do love that ride. One of my favorite parts is when you're going through and you look above you and they almost look like lily pads, and there's like things walking on them.
And they move
I
like
love
something's
that.
walking. Yeah.
And just the animatronics alone, or the one or not,
Yeah.
there's multiple. I forget her name, but like the really big like animatronic that
Yes.
everyone's like amazed with. That thing is amazing.
It's so impressive.
It's so neat.
It's cool.
So we're going to do a couple of rides, and then I actually wanted to take this time to do a park walkthrough. So again, some people were kind of like, what? Caleb and I, we do not have to be going on rides every single second of the day. We love just walking around. So I thought this would be a good idea to kind of just walk through Animal Kingdom because there's so many just different sights and sounds to observe throughout the park. And again, the theming in Animal Kingdom is just out of this world.
Yes.
Whether you're going through Asia, it doesn't feel like you're here. It feels like you're literally transported somewhere else.
I know.
So
And I've been to Africa, so I can verify that
Yeah.
the Africa part of the park is pretty, like there was a moment where I literally I had a flashback to when I was 11 years old, standing in Kampala, Uganda, and being like, holy smokes, it kind of feels like,
Right,
it
and-
kind of feels like I'm standing
Yeah.
in that market again. It was pretty crazy.
it's amazing just that theming alone that could do that. And some of the bridges that you go over with the water, how there's like water in between and trees.
It's pretty unreal.
It looks so real. And there's one lookout that you can see Everest on one of the bridges. It's just like, it's amazing.
Can I make a note of something that just kind of hit me now that you said that? And I may be wrong because, again, Caitlin and I are West Coast folks. So if you guys are like there all the time and you can nitpick and stuff, like Johnny, DMSW, if you're listening, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like Animal Kingdom, their sight lines are still intact. Like there's nothing, you can't see something that would take you out of,
Oh, 100%.
right?
Yes.
I think they're all intact. So like in Disneyland, we suffer from things being on top of each other. And now they've got, it doesn't make sense, but Marvel, what's it called? Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
And that totally messes because you can see it from other parts of the park. It doesn't
Yeah.
really make sense. The Tower of Terror, right? You can see from everywhere. And it doesn't really match the theming of,
Right.
1940s Hollywood.
Yeah.
So there's some problems over here on the
With
West
Bugs
Coast.
Land.
Yes. But yeah, over there, I feel like it's still all like, it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The theme is Joe Rohde. You did an amazing job.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I could go on and on about that whole entire park and just him alone. Okay, so next up, I'm actually, after our little walkthrough is over, I want to go do a show, and it's Tough to Be a Bug.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite shows. I'm actually really sad that they got rid of Bugs Land and DCA.
Same.
I understand why they did it because, again, there wasn't a ton there, but it was just so nostalgic for me. And just this show, a lot of people don't like this show.
I know.
And I don't.
Our friends at Happiest Hour don't like
I
it.
know, Chris and Emily. I remember hearing that episode.
Chris said it,
being
and I was
"How
like,
could you?"
excuse me? Oh,
But
I'm just kidding.
I love it. I think it's so fun, and there's just so many elements to it that just makes us laugh the whole time. So we're gonna finish that show, and then we're gonna actually head over and get lunch at Restaurantosaurus
what?
over in Dino Land.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a curveball. Okay, why are we going over there?
We are going there, Caleb. I'm so thankful you asked because they have gluten-free chicken strips with
What?
French fries.
I
Yes.
did not know.
So this is something, again, Caleb is not able to get a lot. They do not have it at Disneyland for him, but at Disney World, they have gluten-free, like fried chicken strips because normally he has to get either grilled or whatever. just
Everyone's
buy the
eating like
stuff.
delicious fried chicken sandwiches, and I'm like, I'll take the grilled chicken, please.
Which they do have a grilled option.
Okay.
So they have multiple things there, but just I saw the gluten-free chicken strips, and I think the restaurant looks really fun. I'm not the biggest fan of Dino Land, but I like the restaurant. It's kind of like by itself.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I have seen it.
Yeah. So they have gluten-free chicken strips there, which I thought would be amazing because I'm a chicken strip girl. And then after, we're going to go walk it off because, again, heavy food, so we need some more just exercise. So we are going to actually walk through and go see some animals because, like Caleb mentioned, we have been watching the Animal Kingdom show and we are obsessed. So being able, I forget, I was going to ask you, what's the name of the trail that we love? Because there's multiple. There's like Gorilla Falls or something.
Okay. I don't remember.
I'm not saying the names correctly. There's different trails that you can see that leads you to different animals.
Yeah.
But there's one that we went on that led us to like multiple. I'm forgetting what the name of it was.
I don't remember. We're definitely not experts when it comes to
No.
Disney World.
No.
So we've only been there twice.
Yeah, so anyway, you know what I'm talking about though, right? Like the trails that you can go on to like see the different exhibits,
Yeah.
like the gorillas
Yep.
or like
Yeah.
the lions or whatever. I want to go see all of those.
It's
because-
tucked back in that corner.
Yes.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
It's like it's not Gorilla Falls. It's something else. But
Okay.
there's multiple of them depending on what you're wanting to see. So yeah, that just makes me so happy just thinking about that. Next, we're gonna go do a show, and we're gonna do Finding Nemo: The Big Blue and Beyond, because we've actually never done that or seen the show.
No.
And the one time that we did go, it was closed for refurb or something.
So yeah, they were closing to launch this version of it. So they shrunk it down. They carved out some minutes. It used to be a long show, I think, like 45 plus. And I think they have it down to like, I think it's like a 25 or 30-minute show. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're listening and you're like, that's not right. But they shaved some time off the show. This is a new version that's out now.
Yeah, and then the other time that we went, it was closed because of COVID.
Yes.
So, because they weren't doing indoor.
Correct.
But, so yeah, we've never seen that. So I would love to see that show.
Yeah.
After, we're going to fast forward a little bit. We're going to go get some dinner. And for those who don't know, for people with allergies, Animal Kingdom is not the best park for gluten-free. It's just the traditional, like, you can get pizza, you can get cheeseburger, you can get chicken strips. That's pretty much it. And if you can go to a sit-down, it's very limited items.
Yeah, and I don't want people getting the wrong idea of like, well, they have options for you. Why are you complaining? It's just that times you're at the parks for 5 or 6 days, it's pizza, burgers, or chicken strips for 5 or 6 days for the most part. So that's when you're like, oh, you're on like maybe your 4th park day and you're going to Animal Kingdom for the first time and you're like, darn it, I'm stuck eating another burger.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
the other
why.
parks have more options, and like Disneyland, they have Italian, or they have like, I don't know. There's just so many other options, but for some reason Animal Kingdom doesn't have a ton.
It's lacking.
But I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to have, again, it's something fancy, but we're going to have dinner at Harambe Market. Do you remember that?
One of our favorites. Yes, I do.
So I thought we could go there, and for those who don't know, they have a grilled chicken bowl with cilantro rice.
Very good.
That sounds absolutely amazing. But I wanted to see if you remembered. I wanted to kind of relive our little memory of why that place is so special. Do you remember?
We almost lost our lives that day. I'm just kidding.
No,
it was just a torrential downpour. We got stuck in it while eating our chicken rice bowls.
Yes.
And we're getting soaked. I'm trying to set up the what do you call it that blocks rain from you?
The umbrella.
Umbrella, that's what it is. I'm trying to set the umbrella up because it's like blowing away and people are running past us and we're just sitting there trying to finish our bowl. So yes, that is our memory of Harambe Market.
One of my best Disney memories ever.
It was fun.
It was the most.
We got soaked.
Perfect.
It was fine. We went back to the hotel, took a nap, and waited it out, but it was a fun time.
Again, because as we mentioned before, because we've talked about this story, it was one of those things where you're so soaking wet, and I'm talking dripping wet. You're like, well, what are we gonna do now? Like, it's too late, so we'll just have fun with it. So I was running through puddles, like just laughing. It was one of the best memories.
They're probably
ever,
like, ma'am, can you please stop doing that?
Everyone's stressed. I'm just running around.
Yeah.
But no, we actually had to end that day with waiting for the bus for over an hour. Because remember, they didn't have them running.
Yeah, that was rough. Because this was when we were just coming out of COVID, like super lockdown. That's the only reason why we felt comfortable enough to go. And anyways, so they were still dealing with limited staffing. And so the bus wait, we're standing there sopping wet. There's that family in front of us. They were soaking wet. It was so bad.
Yeah, but fun memories though.
Yes.
I loved it. Okay, so after dinner, obviously you need dessert. So we are heading over
Nomad Lounge.
to Nomad Lounge to get gluten-free churros because, again, we've never been there. And, again, we can get them, as Caleb mentioned, at the Grand Casino over at Three Bridges. But everyone just raves about Nomad Lounge. And they do have food options for you as well.
Really?
They don't look like things that like you would like, kind of more adventurous.
Like what? Like are they... Like
it's
okay.
I don't know how to explain it. They look like I would eat them, but like it's very like this sauce and like these words that you probably have never even heard of. Like some of them I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
But fancy, but I'm sure they're probably like absolutely amazing. But hey, churros. And I wanted to highlight it comes with a vanilla crema and a coffee creme anglaise sauce.
Oh gosh.
So that sounds amazing because at Three Bridges we only get chocolate, right? I think that's all we get.
Yeah, just
with
chocolate.
it. And it's like a warm milk chocolate. It's so good. So after we get dessert, we are going to end the night out by doing some shopping around the parks, maybe getting some, I don't know, the Animal Kingdom Starbucks mug,
Oh,
getting
okay.
some merch.
All right.
We all know on here we love the merch. So
Yes.
I just had a conversation with my friend Emily over at Make It Magical today about how much I'm trying to convince her to buy another Loungefly and how much she's already convinced me. I don't know if I've told you this story yet.
Oh, no.
But she has the Haunted Mansion Loungefly, and I'm obsessed. And I'm like, they don't sell it anymore.
Great. So it looks like we both cost each other money.
And it's breaking my heart. I looked for it today, and I was like, oh, it's gone. But anyway,
Darn.
we're getting sidetracked here. So we're going to finish the night out with some shopping, and then we're going to walk through Pandora to end the night out because it's at night and everything's lit up.
It's glowing.
So overall, that is my perfect day in Animal Kingdom.
I love it. Animal Kingdom is such a good park. Don't let people tell you. You want to know something I'm ashamed of? I'm absolutely ashamed of, okay? So my family, it was either right before or right after I graduated from high school, we did a Disney World trip. And it was me and my brothers and my parents. And we had to decide. We only had 3 park days at Disney World. And they were like single day tickets, if that makes sense. And then we did a couple days at Universal. And so that was what we had to work with. So we had to cut one park out of our trip. And so we all sat down and I think I still made the right decision, but this was years ago, right? This was 2012, 2013-ish time frame. And so this is before Pandora. This is before all that stuff. And so there's way less to do in Animal Kingdom, but I was so quick to cut that one out. I was like, oh God, not Animal Kingdom. It's like you're there for 3 hours and there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And but now I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to make that decision easily.
Yeah. Well, I feel like back then everyone thought it was just a ginormous zoo.
Yeah.
And that there was nothing to do there.
That's exactly what I said.
a big draw though is Pandora now. So it's kind of like
I know it
having that
changed.
there.
It totally changed the dynamic again from outside people looking in to Disney World. It's Pandora changed it for us. Like that is a must visit now.
Yeah, and I remember when Animal Kingdom opened, or not when they opened, but when they were kind of advertising new rides coming in Expedition Everest. That's when they would run commercials, like on TV. I remember seeing that and being like, I cannot wait to go and ride Expedition Everest. And this was when I was little.
Yeah, I think that was opening day though, so they must have done like a relaunch or something.
Expedition Everest was opening day?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that must have been when park opening then, because it was a long time ago. I was little.
25 years? I guess so. Yeah, I mean, you were a toddler.
Oh.
Unless you really remember.
I saw it at one point where I was like, I can't wait to ride that ride. Because again, my family was obsessed with Disney, so we'd constantly watch stuff.
Okay.
But again, I finally rode that ride with you for the first time in my adulthood. And remember being like, I remember seeing this as a little girl.
You were so excited, and your poor thing, you walked off like, I'm so sick.
Motion sick.
I did not enjoy that.
It's such an amazing ride, though.
It is.
It was great.
Thank you so much for joining us as we shared what our perfect day at Animal Kingdom looks like. If you want to send us what your perfect day looks like, send us a message over on Instagram at Market House Podcast or on our website, markethousepodcast.com.
The contact us section.
Yes, you can find us over on Instagram, like I just mentioned, at Market House Podcast. Make sure to follow us over there for pictures from the park and exciting news and announcements. Again, like we mentioned before, please consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, a giant help to the show. Remember to use our Getaway Today link for your future trip bookings. Check out the episode details for that link. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Bye.